Have you noticed someone you love changing lately? Not in a dramatic way. Not something you could easily explain. Maybe they're quieter. Maybe they get tired faster. Maybe something just feels off. Most people believe death in old age happens suddenly. One normal day, then everything changes overnight. But that's not how it usually works. The body doesn't shut down all at once. It doesn't flip a switch and stop. Instead, it whispers. Months in advance. Sometimes, a full year before the end. Small changes. Easy to ignore. Easy to explain away as just getting older. And that's the problem. Families don't miss the signs because they don't care. They miss them because the signs don't look serious at first. It's only later, looking back, that people say, "Wait, it was already happening." This video isn't here to scare you. It's here to help you understand. Because when you recognize these changes early, you don't panic, you prepare. You don't push, you protect. And you don't miss the moments that actually matter. If you're noticing even one of these signs in someone you love, stay with me. This video matters. When these changes start showing up, most families don't panic. They normalize them. He's just slowing down. She's getting older, that's normal. They've earned their rest. And to be fair, a lot of aging does look like that. That's what makes these signs so easy to miss. Even doctors often look at things one symptom at a time. A little weight loss? Adjust the diet. More fatigue? Check the blood work. Confusion? Maybe stress. Maybe medication. What rarely gets talked about is the pattern. Because decline doesn't announce itself loudly. It spreads out. Quiet. Gradual. Almost polite. And then there's us, as a society. We're comfortable talking about youth, productivity, and staying strong. But when it comes to decline, we change the subject. We avoid the conversation. We tell ourselves there's plenty of time. Until suddenly, there isn't. Families often say the same thing afterward. Not with guilt, but with shock. We didn't know it meant this. We thought there would be more time. We didn't realize those changes were connected. And that's the real cost of missing these signs. Not just medically, but emotionally. Because when you don't recognize what's happening, you spend the time pushing, instead of cherishing. Correcting, instead of comforting. Planning for later, instead of being present now. Understanding these signs doesn't take hope away. It gives clarity. And clarity changes everything about how you show up. One of the earliest signs that something deeper is happening isn't pain. It isn't an illness. It's weight, quietly slipping away. At first, it barely registers. Clothes fit a little looser. A belt needs tightening. Meals get smaller. Most families think they're just eating less. But this isn't really about food. Long before appetite disappears, the body starts losing muscle. Strength fades before hunger does. That's because the systems that process nutrients, digestion, absorption, muscle repair, start slowing down. Protein doesn't get used the way it used to. Muscle breaks down faster than it can be rebuilt. And muscle isn't just about movement. It supports breathing, balance, immunity, even recovery from a minor illness. So when muscle fades, everything feels harder. Here's where well-meaning families get stuck. They try to fix it with more food. Bigger meals. Protein shakes. Encouragement. Sometimes pressure. But forcing food can backfire. When the body starts shifting into its final phase, it changes priorities. It's no longer focused on building or storing. It's focused on maintaining comfort. This isn't starvation. It's the body changing priorities. At this stage, quality matters more than quantity. Small portions. Soft, familiar foods. Moments of enjoyment, not battles at the table. Because calories matter less than connection. Sometimes the most nourishing thing you can offer isn't another meal. It's presence. As weight fades, energy usually follows. But this isn't normal tiredness. This is the kind of fatigue that doesn't improve with sleep. Rest doesn't recharge it. Naps don't fix it. Simple tasks start feeling expensive. Getting dressed. Walking across the room. Holding a conversation. Things that once felt automatic now require effort, and sometimes aren't worth the cost. And here's where misunderstandings happen. Sleeping more doesn't automatically mean depression. Wanting quiet doesn't always mean giving up. This is often the body conserving energy. As circulation slows and oxygen delivery drops, movement becomes inefficient. So the body adapts. It rests more. Moves less. Speaks less. But emotionally, this stage can be brutal. Many seniors feel the loss of independence long before anyone else notices. They don't always say it out loud, but they feel it. The frustration. The embarrassment. The quiet shame of needing help. That's why pushing them to stay active or try harder can hurt more than it helps. What feels motivating to us can feel overwhelming to them. Here's the truth most people don't realize. The body isn't giving up, it's budgeting energy. And when you understand that, your role changes. You stop measuring days by productivity. You start measuring them by peace. As the body slows, the mind often changes too. And this is one of the most misunderstood stages. You may notice more forgetfulness. Trouble following conversations. Losing track of time or repeating the same stories. Sometimes it looks like confusion. Other times, it looks like withdrawal. This isn't always dementia. And it's not just old age. The brain depends on consistent oxygen and circulation. As those systems weaken, mental clarity can come and go. That's why some people seem sharp one moment and distant the next. What families often notice first isn't confusion. It's quiet. Less talking. Less reacting. Less interest in social settings. Not because they don't care. But because engagement takes energy their brain no longer has. Loud rooms feel overwhelming. Conversations feel hard to track. Even emotions become difficult to express. Some people grow more anxious or irritable. Others become unusually calm or detached. It can feel like you're losing them before they're gone. But here's what matters most. Even when words fade, awareness doesn't disappear. Even when responses are slow, presence is still felt. You don't need to pull them back into the conversation. You don't need to correct every mistake. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is sit with them, calmly, quietly, without demands. Because silence doesn't mean absence. And connection doesn't always need words. Another sign that often appears in the final year is how the body handles illness and healing. Things that used to be minor aren't anymore. Colds linger. Infections return. Recovery takes longer, or never fully happens. You might notice repeated urinary infections, pneumonia, skin issues, or sores that don't heal properly. This isn't bad luck. It's the immune system losing ground. As circulation weakens, fewer resources reach the skin, muscles, and organs. Healing slows. Defenses weaken. And here's something many people don't realize. In older adults, infections don't always show up as fever or pain. Sometimes the first sign is confusion. Sudden fatigue. Loss of appetite. The body doesn't react loudly anymore. It reacts subtly. Families often respond by pushing for stronger treatment. More tests. More hospital visits. More medication. And sometimes that's necessary. But there comes a point where treatment adds strain, without adding comfort. This is often where care shifts. From curing to comforting. Keeping them clean. Hydrated. Positioned comfortably. Reducing stress on the body. It's not giving up. It's responding honestly to what the body can handle. And for many people, this shift brings more peace than another round of aggressive intervention ever could. One of the clearest signs that the body is entering its final stage is a change in breathing and circulation. At first, it's subtle. Breathing becomes slower, or shallower. There may be longer pauses between breaths. Sometimes breathing speeds up, then suddenly slows down again. It can look irregular, even unsettling. But in many cases, it isn't painful. It's the body adjusting. You may also notice changes in circulation. Hands and feet feel colder than usual. Skin looks paler, or slightly bluish around fingers, toes, or lips. This happens because the body is redirecting blood flow. Vital organs are prioritized. The extremities receive less. Even talking can become tiring. Sitting up may cause shortness of breath. Lying flat might feel uncomfortable. Some people prefer extra pillows or sleeping upright. Not because they're anxious, but because it eases breathing. Families often panic here. They worry something urgent is happening. But many times, this is simply the body slowing its systems. Not fighting, not failing, just transitioning. At this stage, comfort matters most. A calm room. Cool air. Gentle reassurance. Quiet presence. You don't need to fix it. You need to be there. When you put all 5 signs together, the weight loss, the fatigue, the mental changes, the infections, the breathing shifts, a pattern becomes clear. This isn't a sudden collapse. It's a gradual letting go. And that understanding changes everything. Because when you recognize what's happening, you stop asking, how do we stop this? And start asking, how do we support them through it? This isn't about giving up hope. It's about redefining it. Hope becomes comfort. Hope becomes dignity. Hope becomes presence. Preparation doesn't take love away. It protects it. It allows families to make decisions calmly. To reduce unnecessary stress. To focus on moments that matter. If you're noticing these signs in someone you love, the most important thing you can do is slowing down with them. Meet them where they are. Respect their limits. Let rest be rest. Create calm. Play soft music. Hold their hand. Listen, even when they don't speak much. If they want to share memories, let them. If they want silence, honor that too. You don't need perfect words. You don't need solutions. Your presence is enough. As we close, take a moment to reflect. These signs aren't meant to frighten you. They're meant to prepare you. Because when you understand what's happening, you're not caught off guard. You're grounded. And when the body grows quiet, love can speak louder than ever. If this video helped you understand something you've been noticing, share one thought in the comments. You never know who else might need to hear it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for caring. And we'll see you in the next video.